6.5 to 9 million years ago, a common ancestor split down two paths, one becoming a highly intelligent mammal that lives in complex social structures, eats almost anything they can find, and shows incredible amounts of violence towards one another. I'm talking, of course, about humans, but you, their closest relatives with a 98% DNA match, can lead quite a similar life too. After an 8-month gestation period, you are born, and are completely useless for your first 2 months of life, unable to even hold your own body weight. That's where mum comes in to nurture, protect, and feed you in your adolescent years. Based on your mum's social ranking, you'll have a spot in the chimp community's social hierarchy, which you don't care about now, but you'll be spending the majority of your adult life trying to rise up. Chimps love babies, and the whole community is excited when one is born, which gives your mum a chance to earn some bonus points by parading you around like a TikTok mum trying to monetize their kid on the internet. After a few months, you've gained a bit of upper body strength, and you start to play cowboy with mum to get around. This lasts until around 2 years old, when mum decides she's had enough and makes you move and sit independently. You enjoy the extra freedom, but still don't really go out of arm's reach until weaning at 4 to 6 years old, marking the end of your infancy. You are now a teenage chimp. You start to interact with an increasing number of the 20 to 150 members of your group, but still stay close to mum. If you're female, you'll spend time with the other females of the group, learning your traditional role. If you're a male, you'll join the patriarchy by spending some quality time with the older males in social activities, like patrolling the territory or joining the hunt. Just having fun before you realise that the golf club isn't really about golf. As you age through your teenage years, the adults still like you and tolerate your teasing and play fights, but gradually suck the life out of you. You'll learn all the social and survival skills needed to fight your way up the career ladder, and you spend more and more time away from mum. You are now an adult chimp. No one likes you anymore, and you're just another competitor in the hierarchy rat race. You recognise the alphas of the group and dream of being there one day, but first you must start small. You befriend a similar ranking chimp and jointly bully a higher ranking individual to take their spot and start off on your journey. Oh no, your buddy teamed up with someone else and now they're beating you up. This is your first lesson in corporate Uganda. Everyone is in it for themselves. You live in a large community, but split off into a smaller subgroup to build some closer alliances and find some food easier. These are only temporary and will constantly change as you go back and forth from the main group. You groom your fellow team members, cleaning their fur and removing any parasites, and they're happy to do the same for you. It may seem like you're all just being nice, but you're really just doing a follow for follow, sub for sub. When you return to the larger group, you think your newfound alliances will help you get up the ladder, but the alpha male is already aware of the power of unions and kills your potential revolt with large displays of aggression. The brutal reality of chimp politics hits you hard. At least you've made a few new friends. There's also dominant females, but they don't get as much of a say over the males, and if they do go too far, they'll be violently put back in line. No other species has been observed to show this much violence towards their females. Except for humans. Most of your time is spent in the trees, where you eat and sleep in nests that you make out of leaves. You do go on the ground though to travel for long distances, forage, or to hunt for food. You go after a variety of mammals, but your favourite targets are primates like the red colobus monkey. You only really hunt if you're male, because females couldn't possibly conduct themselves in the same way as the males, and you all get assigned a different role. Drivers will keep the prey running in a certain direction, blockers will position themselves at the bottom of trees to block the downwards escape route, chasers will move in quick to try and make a catch, and ambushers do what it says on the tin. Despite all the hunting, meat only makes up around 2% of your diet, with the bulk being fruit and veg. Like everyone else, you put problem solver on your CV, but you can actually back it up. You use a variety of different tools to gather your food, such as branches for termites, stones for nuts, and leaves for water. You also throw rocks as threats, use sticks to inspect bodies, and clean yourself with various leaves. You eat pretty much anything, but not much eats you. There's specialist chimp-killing leopards, the occasional lion, humans, and that's pretty much it. For other species. You really need to keep an eye out for neighbouring chimp troops or things could go really badly. Chimps are the perfect mix of very territorial and very violent, meaning if you get caught in another troop's territory, social status will be the least of your worries. Vice versa, if you catch another chimp in your zone, you'll violently return the favour. You'll even go so far as to wage war on neighbouring groups, sometimes for resources, sometimes for females, and sometimes just because you can. Whilst on patrol one day, you spot an enemy chimp behind your lines and decide it's time for a hostile takeover. You gather the war council members and make your plan of attack. Sprinting in, making every type of grunt, hoot and screech you can, you quickly take out the dominant males, followed by the aggressive females. The rest may or may not be allowed to join your group. As for the children, well, you wouldn't want any more competitors, they don't help you continue your genetic line, and they may hold a bit of a grudge. So it's bad news for them. And it gets worse. You know how I said that chimps will eat pretty much anything? Well, yeah. You're probably thinking that chimps are fairly horrible animals, and you'd be spot on. But occasionally they do nice things, like taking care of any orphans who are part of their group. So, you know, Progress. Another big threat to you is humans, and just because they're closely related, it doesn't mean they care. They chop down your forest for resources and roads, they hunt you for bushmeat, to keep you as a pet or to sell you to a zoo, but the biggest issue is actually unintentional, being the spread of various diseases which you don't have the ability to cope with. To be fair, you're not exactly friendly to them and would easily win a 1v1. Their only hope would be to jump in the river as you can't swim, and it's definitely safe there. Your antics at war have gained you a few social rankings and you now have the chance to mate. How you mate and who with really depends on your situation, with the alpha male having anyone he wants and possibly monopolising the females with possessive behaviour. You manage to find a mate, have some offspring and take up the same role as your parents, getting some bonus points along the way. As you get older, you start to lose your hair and develop some bald spots. You've climbed the greasy pole of chimp politics for too many years, and you've nearly achieved the thing you've wanted your whole adult life. After some more grooming, alliances and betrayal, you finally decide to Julius Caesar the dominant chimp and take the top spot. You finally made it. You can do anything you want, have any mate you want, pick the biggest tree to nest in, the nicest food is now the norm, and you use your powerful connections to crush the little guy. You sacrificed everything to get to where you are, and no one will...
Oh no, that human's logging down your forest. That's a shame.